time. Just sitting in the press box this week is time. Is a riding pain, riding fine. She land sometime.
Beauty. As always, Langer, you are a special man with a guitar in your hand.
Just mucking around.
And here we go. Episode 14.
Is crazy.
Welcome back to the bench. This is Riding Pine, Chronicles of the Fourth Line, brought to you by the Hockey House. This is your fourth line. Punchy Langer in summertime. How we doing tonight, boys?
Yeah, good. Good. Another day.
Another day.
A double shock.
A double shock.
Double shock.
A double shock.
You got like a rotation going? How to do the shock?
Yeah.
It's
Double.
Okay. You have to go back to back.
Tape them together.
That could be like our thing, you know, like on Friends they do this. It's like the
Do the
Yeah, we need a thing.
Double
it's
shock.
like the
double shock.
like, double shocker.
So here we are. We're back in the press box. There's no whistle tonight. There's no there's no horns.
Oh.
And as every time will be when we sit in the press box, we have nothing to do. So
There's a lot of depth
we
in
have
the playoffs.
nothing to talk about. Yeah, we're just. How about the playoffs, man? The playoffs have been awesome so far. A couple surprises. Edmonton on their way out. Anybody see that coming?
Nope.
And I, they still do the white in Winnipeg too. Eh? Langer,
I know.
you
Well-
got a couple thoughts about
Well,
that.
because it made sense when they were white at home. And it's
Yeah.
just dumb because now it's like they're supporting the other team because they're wearing white.
It looks so weird too. Like at least it looks cool when everybody when the place is packed and everybody's got the white towel and they're waving it. At least
What
that
about the
looks
one
cool.
dick who shows up with
But
the dark
having-
jersey on?
But seeing them all sitting on chairs is just weird.
I know. It's like sad.
Yeah,
What?
it is.
What do you mean?
Like if you watch the Winnipeg Edmonton series when they played the two games in Winnipeg, they had like
The
the terrible
fans.
towels hanging over top of all the chairs around
Yeah,
the whole
that's
barn.
right.
It looked
Yeah.
weird. Whereas if there's people in that barn, they're holding
Why
the
was-
towel, waving it above their head the whole time. And it
Why
actually
wasn't there
looks
anybody
pretty
in the barn? It's weird. Like why?
Because of
Why
COVID.
the fan? Like it's a sold out.
cool. Oh, there's a
place
pandemic
in-
going on, man.
Well, Nashville's got like a.
All the
sold
states,
out
they're different,
thing.
though.
Like,
Yeah,
you
but-
know.
Nashville, they're still drinking beer
some-
off catfish. Did you see? Did you see the? Did you see the clip with Taylor Lowe on the other day?
No.
Okay.
Oh my God! I'm gonna find it. But it is awesome. He attended a Nashville game, so he's an offensive lineman for the Titans. He's actually got a podcast. It's called Bussin' with the Boys. It's actually pretty good. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But he was at the game and he was doing like shotgun and beers with his shirt off, like in the corner. Like it was amazing.
Oh,
I
at
have-
the.
at the
Yeah,
Na- at the
I saw that
Nashville.
he's got a wicked mullet. No, no, that was Washington.
Yeah. No,
Was it?
he was at the Nashville Predators game.
I saw him like crushing a beer, and then it's like woo.
Yeah.
He was a big boy. I could see. Yeah, okay. I think I saw that live, but I
Can
didn't
you,
think it was. A
can you guys hear this or no?
I hear you clicking
Yeah.
on your mouse.
Yeah,
Is that,
All right.
is that part of the show?
but no.
Here it comes. It's coming up
Okay,
right now.
it's coming up right now. Are you sharing content or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is him.
Oh, there it is.
This is him slamming a beer off a catfish. And this
Oh,
is
no,
him at
that's
the
not
game
the-
the other day.
Tarp off.
Yeah, tarp off. Just
Jeez.
he's going crazy.
Look at that
Like
mess
this is my
on
favorite
his
part though. He
body.
turns to the stands. He's like, "Throw me a beer. Throw me a beer. Somebody throw me a beer. Give me a beer." Yeah.
He's like stone cold.
Just an absolute mess. I love it, dude. Straight up stone cold's the beer. Like,
There's another one. There's a
That
guy in
sounds like to be a
Washington
hockey
doing
guy.
that too. He could have been same deal, a football player. Was it Washington? Might have been a ball. I can't remember.
I love
Yeah,
I love when
anyways,
you see
yeah.
other guys from other
But
sports.
why then Winnipeg no fans? You know, like even in I think Montreal, Toronto, they have fans.
Toronto does.
No, they
Montreal
don't.
in
No,
Game
they're
6.
pumping.
Edmonton?
They're pumping in the
No.
crowd noise, man. In
No.
Canada
Nobody
right
there.
now.
Right.
So
only in the States.
Yeah.
Well, Montreal actually. Montreal just got a proposal passed. So
Yeah, Game
was
6.
it May 31st, which actually falls Game 6. Will if it goes back to Montreal, they'll have 2,500. That's it
Right.
to start. Yeah, and the world's just a mess, man. Still in Canada
Yeah.
right now.
So that towel thing, that apparently, from what I've read, that came from Roger Nielsen in Vancouver. And so he was fed up with the referee calls, so he put a towel on his stick. held it up to give up.
He was waving the towel.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But I remember that from Rock'em Sock'em Hockey.
Yeah.
Not from
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reference. That's in the bibliography.
That's
Rock'em Sock'em.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. Yeah.
Rock'em Sock'em, man. Those were the
Well,
best. That was like the
Well-
best. That was like the traditional stocking stuffer in
It
Canada.
was. I just want all the good teams to get through so that it's good. Like Colorado Vegas should be a good series.
Yeah, it'll
Should be a good series.
You know, like you've got high octane superpower nuclear
Dude,
weapons versus super
Yeah.
defense, and
I think
Yeah.
that
Grind
series
it
is
out.
going to come down to the flower, man.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because if the flower can shut down the offense, they might be all right.
And Boston,
Well,
Tampa will be
he's
good
better
too if they
than
get through. or
Grubauer.
Florida.
It's weird to say too, but like I kind of really feel like Vegas has an advantage just based on the fact that they've played a harder opponent, if that makes sense. Because like, as a St. Louis fan, like the Avs just played a shell of the team. The only guy that actually was there was Bennington. Like to lose three of your top D men and your leading scorer for the entire
I don't buy it.
season.
Fuck that. They lost. The Colorado's like
So I got a question though. So I got buddies at home that are like Boston fans and Flyer fans, and my question is like, growing up, how do you follow a team that's out of market? Because there was no NHL Game Center or anything growing up. So were you buying like the hockey news every week, or like how did you follow the Blues as a kid? Because unless they're playing in Toronto, when do you see their games?
Well, that's one of the things that was like about the Blues was back in the day. If you look at the divisions, the Blues were in the Leafs division.
Yeah, the Norris division.
Yeah, so you'd see them quite a bit because you'd see all the Leafs games. So you'd see them 4 or 5 times in a season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to like 82 Leaf games.
But dude, I wasn't like researching hockey when I was a kid either. I just
Yeah.
kind of. It was the first game I went to that.
You were a
I
Leafs
was
fan, but like when the Blues played, you cheer for the Blues.
Right.
Yeah, I would watch the Leafs like most kids in Southern Ontario,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, I
but
watched the Leafs
I didn't
growing
cheer for the Leafs though. I cheered for the Sabres actually as my second team. Like if I was going to go to local hometown team, like for me it was either Toronto or Buffalo. But I just cheered for Buffalo because it was closer and I got to go to more games in Buffalo.
Were they on
Lame.
WKBW Buffalo 29? That was the channel.
Yes, it was.
They used to get, because they used to have those telethons. Remember the telethons they used to have? You know, they had all the people sitting around the phones and like, you got to pledge so much money so we can keep the commercials off the air. And there was a guy with white hair and glasses. It used to be on every year. There was a telethon.
Yeah, the telethons
For
were
Buffalo?
huge. Back
Well, it
in
was
the day.
on like all the Southern Ontario channels, but we got a channel
I
from
remember
Buffalo.
Telethon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd learn about where Cheektowaga was and like
Yep. Tonawanda.
you know, Tonawanda, East Tonawanda, and
Yeah. North Tonawanda.
you know, all these places you didn't even know.
I didn't know.
Kenmore.
I
You're,
my-
you're Eastern Ontario though.
Yeah.
You got your own set of problems out there with Quebec.
Yeah, because like really, like Peterborough's only what? It's under 2 hours from Niagara Falls, no? Or is it close?
It's about 3, but we're like
It's about 3, yeah.
2 hours to Ottawa. We're kind of
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Hop on the 401 and
Yeah. We'd
Give her-
stop in Peterborough on the way to Toronto. for
Would
the
you?
break stop. Well, because we had family in Toronto and Niagara, Lake Grimsby,
oh yeah,
Ooh,
Stony
Grimsby.
Creek,
Stony Creek, Lincoln,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lincoln, Ontario.
Friggin'
Yeah,
Oakville. What else?
Burlington was out there, and
Burlington. That was
Brampton.
Yeah, like
Brampton.
my uncle in Burlington had this friggin' amazing country. Like when I think back of like my house and like the family, like I had this. It was a half-acre lot. I remember cutting the grass, man, and it was huge. You know, it was massive. It took me like 2 hours and a bit to cut the grass. It was a half-acre lot. Like people we get out here, like what? 10 square feet. Like, I cut the grass. It's a waste to buy a lawnmower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like
It's funny. I have barely, like, I don't have a lot of grass in my backyard either.
Yeah.
It is a waste to buy a lawnmower.
Yeah.
do you remember my place in Avondale?
Oh,
yeah.
I used to cut the grass there. Do you remember how much grass I had?
Like a
Out
strip on the front.
there was it was one go through, and then around the back. Yeah, it was just forward.
It honestly,
Then around the back, it was forward and back. Put it in the garage.
Yeah, I was gonna say you turn around once. I think.
The hardest part of the job was
wash
taking
it off.
the Noma moon rays out of the grass.
Dude, that
out of the
place,
lawn.
that place was so awesome. It had like
I put them back.
this place. This place had like the creepiest like crawl space in the back, but like Langer
never
pimped
saw
the
this
shit out of it. Like it was just like Jersey hockey heaven, and it was literally like a
Oh, the
crawl
garage
space.
was
No, it was a
amazing.
crawl space.
Oh,
like
the old one.
yeah,
On
the
Braddock?
one, yeah. I
Yeah.
was talking
Oh,
about
I
the
don't-
Avondale one, but the old one.
Okay.
Because I always like growing up, I had nowhere to put my equipment because our house was really small. Like there was 5 of
Yeah.
us in like a 3-bedroom house, so my equipment was always like in the kitchen, or like there was nowhere to put hockey equipment. I was envious because kids had basements and stuff. We never had a basement, so
yeah.
and you got your goalie equipment. It takes up so much room. It's like you can't have your hockey equipment in your bedroom. Like it's
That's right.
so to have like a
sweet.
dirty dungeon to hang all your stuff up in was pretty good.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
well.
And there was like that fridge in there, and the lady that rented it said you can have whatever you want in the freezer. And there'd be like 2 a.m. when you're pulling something out of that freezer, and it's just like I should be dead.
Rolling
So
the
should you,
dice,
Punchy?
eh?
'Cause
Yeah.
the pork chop you pull out of there that's been in there for like 20 years, and it's like freezer burnt, and the plastics come off it, and
You thought out.
Oh.
I remember I used to pull one out and I'd set it out on the counter before we go to hockey, and then I'd fry it up when we got back. But it was already fully brown when we got back. Be like, it's all good. Let's fix it.
from some extinct animal or something. It was like
Yeah.
from a mower or something.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure it was a pork chop. It was just a chop of something.
Some animal. Yeah.
The chop.
Might have even been
chop.
human. Who knows? That was gross.
Oh my god, that was a left turn.
I
All
know.
of a sudden,
Hey, did you
Jeffrey Dahmer's the upstairs neighbor.
Gotta get it. I remember she gave me shit for like not cleaning that place properly when I moved out. Like, you kidding? Like you fell through the bathroom floor when you walked in.
Yeah.
There was like a herd of rats living in the ceiling. You could hear them at night. It was just
Yeah, it was.
Did the job.
Really,
though.
eh? Yeah.
this place to store your hockey equipment, eat a dirty pork chop, and go to work.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever go to
Right.
field parties growing up? Because you lived out in the country, sort of.
Oh, yeah.
Bush parties. I used to go to
my
bush
God.
parties.
Those were my thing.
Because all the kids in my high school, there was 3 groups. Well, 3 of the groups. You've got the foyer kids, which were all like the cool kids that hung around the foyer in high school, and they all played
Right.
basketball and football.
Right.
You know, your preps, and then you had like the
Yeah.
nerds, and they hung out in the hallway and like played chess and eat their lunch and stuff. And then there was the back parking lot crew, and they were all like farmer kids, and they were all loaded because their parents owned like huge farms, and they like drank and smoked and partied and like fought and stuff. They were tough and cool and drove trucks and snowmobiles, and
Yeah.
so they'd have big parties out of their cornfields and just random places like
Burning pallets and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like for me, we would find places to party. Like for example, we had a quarry, right? And then in the spring it would fill with spring water, and so we would go party at the quarry. You know, another one was the dump.
You partied at the
Yeah,
dump?
man. Yeah, well, we go past the dump. You drive in past the dump, and then you go park in the back bushes, and then Yeah, you party over there.
That's
Anyways,
funny.
fire
That's
your
funny
garbage
because
right
you
into the
find
dump.
shit in the dump to burn, and you just—it's like an all night, all morning. Like, but anyways,
that's funny too because I partied at the dump too, like in St. Alex. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
We're going
missing something here?
Not like at the dump, but like Somerset, like behind the dump in the bushes. Yeah. No cops are looking for you out there.
You can never get in trouble for vandalism or anything like that.
No.
Because you're already at the dump.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember we had a fire like 7 feet high, and one of the guys said, one of the other guys, "I'll fucking give you $10 if you walk through the fire."
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
Of course. $10 too. Who did it?
My buddy shall remain nameless, but I remember his hair and his eyebrows, like his hair, like sort of wisped as he walked through it. It sort of wisped up and like like
singed
like
everything.
wisped and singed, and yeah. And he kind of had to take, like a quick last step, and so there was this debate whether or not he walked through it. And so
Really? They went
it's
upstairs?
Like, were you sort of like that's?
There's a coach's challenge.
Go to the CMO.
And
Oh
there
my
was
God.
this huge fucking debate. Yeah, and eventually he got it. He tapped his
eventually
head.
got it, like,
He
was
got
it days
Like,
later?
yeah, $10. And I'm like, Brian, man, take a look at yourself. Oh shit. Anyways,
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
oh fuck. Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, we used
parties.
we used to do like, what was the name? What was it like? You had a name, right? Like, I'm going to this spot. Like for us, it was like we're going going to the wall, going to
Okay.
the wall. So what the wall was like living where I live. There's canals everywhere, right? So the Welland Canal goes right through the middle of St. Catharines, and then there's a lot of train tracks, right? A lot of different train tracks areas. So the wall was, you walk down the train tracks, and then there's just like this random wall from an old bridge that used to stand there, that was there, and that would be like, again, like the
party
the
spot?
7-foot bonfire and frying a pallet.
Did the
and-
train come by or what?
No,
No.
it's like an old track that they don't
Right.
use anymore.
At a commission, yeah.
But if you,
Sweet.
if you like down in southern Ontario, there's a lot of
Did the
that.
cops eventually this with all our spots, the cops eventually caught
Yeah,
on and
eventually
would
they
come
catch
visit
on to you,
eventually.
but it doesn't mean
we'd
that-
have to change.
It just means it gets shut down for a little bit, and then you come
Yeah.
back to it later.
You come back. Well, we
and
had
then
to,
the
you
rats sort of slowly
circulate
come
your
back.
spot. That's right.
Yeah, you got to have more than one way home, right?
That's right.
See, I remember we were talking last time we were in the press box. We were talking about some near-death experiences. So
The old NDE.
I was thinking about it a little bit, and I was thinking like not so much near-death, but just like things that you did that were like really fucking stupid that you could have died from, but you never did. But you didn't think about it at the time because you were dumb and stupid and a kid.
Yeah, it was a great idea at the time.
Yeah.
So here's one that I did, and I can't believe that I ever did it. But anybody who's listening from my hometown will know exactly what I'm talking about. So, as I said, there's a canal that comes right through the middle of Niagara. It's more or less, it connects Lake Ontario and Lake Erie.
You're talking about Welland.
Yeah, the Welland Canal. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
so
famous.
the Welland Canal. It involves 7 locks, and it takes boats from more or less 30. They change elevation between, I think it's like 3,700 feet. So between the lakes, the surface of the lakes, there's 3,700 feet between them, and they got to go through separate locks to come
And
down.
you got to get around Niagara Falls, which is quite a major
Yeah, so
feature
you're
to
more or
get
less
around.
big shipping containers and stuff will pull in, and they lower down X amount of feet. Then they go into another lock, and they keep going down until they're low enough where they can come out of the last lock and sail straight through into Lake Erie, or Lake Ontario.
Crash course on how a lock works.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
Little canal jobby. Aaron looked like he was learning something. So I just
we got it in Ottawa as well. We got
Yeah.
the locks as well.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the canal.
Okay,
It's from the ocean, St. Lawrence River, and then inland.
So
Yeah, boom.
two of the lock doors were probably within like a 10-minute bike ride from my house. So what we would do is we would ride down on our bikes when we were like 15. It's like probably 14, 15. And we'd have life jackets with us. And what we would do is we'd put the life jackets on. And then what we would do is we would... an alarm goes off.
I love how there's safety devices already in the story.
What, in your head or what?
So an alarm will go off when the doors release and the boat's coming out, right?
Right, yeah, I know.
You know where I'm going with this, eh?
No.
Sarfield's a dick. Carry on. I just switched from the alarm from the lock to like
Yes.
the fire alarm going off in your brain. Like, this is a bad idea.
No, see, that's the thing. At the time, I was just like, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be so awesome, dude.
You got a life jacket on,
so
too.
it's called The Rush. It's called The Rush, right? So...
It's called The Rush.
That's what we used to call it, was The Rush. Okay, so what happens is... So, the big steel doors, so the boat comes in, the water lowers all the way down, and then eventually those doors open.
Yes.
So when those doors open, all the water pushes the boat out, right? So what we used to do was we would wait until the doors were about to open.
Oh, really?
Right? We'd wait till the doors were about to open.
You're really doing this?
And then we'd get on the door as it's opening and run to the end of the door and jump off the door. So
as the water's rushing out.
So as the door's getting to like halfway point, you jump out, and then as soon as you hit the water, you're just like, whoom, and it shoots you at like 50k an hour, just
super.
And
dangerous.
you're just cruising on top of the water and flying out, and we're just like, yeah. But like looking back at it now, it's like, man, you were a dumbass. Like, what are you doing? You could have been dead.
And like people, because there's people on the boat operating. Like, there's
oh
nobody
yeah,
yelling,
everybody's
what the hell are you?
yes, freaking out.
Yeah.
They think you're think you're committing suicide, but really it's just you and four of your buddies, and you've lived there your whole life, and you know how to do it. So you would
someone taught you how to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, you teach yourself. But no, you jump. So like what we would have to do, right, is we'd ride up on our bikes, climb the fence, jump over the fence. So like as soon as we jump over the fence, the security guy who's like running the lock, he sees us. Then he's like, hey, what are you doing? Get out of here. And then we just, like, we're out of there before. It's like a base jumper, right? It's like a base jumper in a hotel or something. Have you ever seen, like, a video of that in Vegas?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like that. Like
that was your inspiration.
We would just...
What the fuck?
We would just storm this. And like, oh, yeah, we were dumb, dude. So dumb. But, yeah. Have you ever done any... I guess not jump off a locked door, but like anything kind of like that where you kind of look back and it's just like, man, if I ever, like, one thing could have went wrong there and I'm done. Like, and I put myself in that position. Like, you ever have one of those things or ever heard a story of another guy who's done something similar?
I just did.
It's the rush,
Yeah.
man. It was the rush.
Fuck. And
Like
you repeatedly got away with this?
No, I actually, the second time I did it, I got freaked out, so I didn't do it again after that. But the first time I did it was like, it was fucking amazing. Like, it was such a crazy feeling because, like,
So you did it again?
well,
Yeah,
first
fair
of all, the jump itself, like just the jump itself off the door, is insane. It's got to be 75 to 100 feet. Like it's a long way, man. Like, you are jumping far. But the beauty is that when the water comes out, it's halfway. It cuts it in half. But again, you're like, there's a tidal wave of like 30 feet
And
of
a
water
boat.
coming.
There's a boat
behind
coming.
it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, I know.
Let's jump
It's
in front of
insane.
the boat with the tidal wave. With
See,
the
that
life
was
jacket.
the-
It's going to be awesome.
And that was the thing too, is like when you get shot
Who
out.
thought it?
When you get shot out, you have to go fast enough. You have to get your body. You have to get yourself moving fast enough, because what happens, and like there was kids that died doing this.
Yeah, of
So
course.
there's a very small margin of error.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the life jacket was the only thing that kind of got you a little bit better off, because what you'd have to do is as soon as you hit the water, you'd have to swim your fucking ass off, because when the boat comes out, the boat would start sucking you back to the boat, right?
Yeah.
And then if you get too close to the boat, it'll just push you right under because it's the riptide that the boat's
I
creating.
learned that from Titanic, yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Swim, you gotta swim to the surface, Rose.
Yeah,
the boat will suck you under. I'm like got the notepad out. I'm like, all right. All right. I feel like I can jump off a locked door.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't jump off a locked door, kids. Especially ones in my hometown. If you're listening to this. Yeah.
The farmer. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was thinking of damage. I was just go back to parties for a second. I remember there was this party in high school. Because you learn by experience, as you guys know, right? So there's a moment where you're like, I'd like to have a party. But when you go to and see parties, you don't want to have a party. And you realize that's why you go to other people's parties. Okay, so this girl, there was 3 girls that lived in this house, and it was a farmhouse, but it was in the city. So it was like one of those old farmhouses that the city kind of subdivision was built around. So it had like a long driveway. It was kind of back in the field, big old house. So it started on Wednesday. So as you know in high school, Monday to Tuesday is all about what happened the previous weekend. Yeah. Then you get to Wednesday, it's like, what's going to happen this coming weekend? And then that's how it works, and you make your plan. So about Wednesday, it circulated that, because her parents used to go down to Florida for a month every winter, and they were in high school. Yeah, so the 3 girls would just stay at the house. So they were having a party. Okay, no, they're just having a few people over. Right? So my buddy and I, we went up there, and we had our 6-pack of warm Labatt Blue or whatever you got. And we get there, and it's just a few people drinking, and then some more people showed up. And then truckloads of kids from other high schools started showing up. And I remember sitting, because somebody kicked the window out in the upstairs bedroom, and we were just sitting up there, and guys were throwing beer bottles at people just showing, because that's fun, right? Throwing beer bottles at people. Somebody had found, I remember, fast forward, I remember sitting in the kitchen, someone had taken the whole tray of cutlery and put it in the microwave and sat it for 10 minutes and just walked away.
Whoa.
So we sat there, because I'm curious, because I'm like, I've heard you shouldn't do this, but I want to see what happens, and it's not pretty. Like, it's basically just created a bomb in the kitchen, and it's sparking and it was on fire. Somebody, the eldest girl who was our age, she passed out face down on. Okay, you don't pass out at a party. I learned this. All right, I saw it, and then I had an experience, and I learned. And since that day, boys, I make sure that I'm one of the last, if not the last person standing. Put yourself in a corner so you can see in all directions. So the owner, she's passed out face down on the couch, right? She's out. There's got to be about 150 people in this house. Somebody found all the Christmas decorations. They were everywhere. People were lighting fireworks off in the living room. Some guys had climbed up the old metal antenna, like the TV antenna?
Yeah, yep.
Because you can climb up. They climbed up and they bent it around through the front window. What? If you can imagine that. I don't know how they did it, but they did that. It got out of control. The police came. My buddy and I walked out.
Got out of control.
People were walking out the door with the stereo and the record player. Like, it was just chaos. So we went to go back to my house. My buddy was staying at my parents', because you're a kid. Somebody stole his shoes, so he walked home in the winter with no shoes on. Because he refused to get someone else's shoes. Because I'm like, well, come on, man.
Well, come on, we gotta go. Yeah,
I know. He's like, whatever. He's pissed. So Monday morning, we start getting called down to the office, and there's cops, and they're questioning everybody.
At school?
Yeah, because there was so much damage. And you're caught in a rock and a hard place, right? It's like, do you tell them what you saw? Do you name the people that you saw doing the stuff you saw? Or you just, like, if it was my house, your parents obviously would kill her when they got home.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
What do you, I'm trying to think if my boy had a party and they would just,
if your antenna got bent in your window.
And your big screen gets carried away and all your stuff's gone. But it was insane. And I learned, I'm like, don't have a party. Like, not in high school. Don't even think about it. The time that I realized you guys stay up late is there was this girl, her name was Christina, and she was total rocket smoke show. But she was cool, though. Like, she smoked and stuff. And her mom was like the cougar that was never home, so she'd always have people over. So we were hanging out at her house, and this is back when you can smoke darts in the house, right?
That's right.
Right? So we're sitting there, and I had stole this big jug of... My grandmother used to make, like, homemade wine. And there used to be these... You know the one with the handle on it? Like the 60-pounder?
Yeah. With a cork lid.
No, I had a twist on it. It was like an old Seagram's 86.
There's different ones,
whiskey
though. Some of
jug,
them had a
right?
cork lid. I remember those ones,
Yeah.
too.
It's a jug. But it was all this, like, just... you could barely get into your wine, right? But it's booze. So we had this, went to the party. We were just working on it.
Nobody else is going to steal it.
No, there's a couple of people working on it, right?
Yeah.
And I remember sitting down at the couch, and there was this girl I was into, and so I leaned over to, say hello. And I came up for air, and it was not... She left, and some other girl had sat down, and I barfed all over her. All over her.
Oh, yeah.
All over the floor, all over the carpet. So then, you go away like a dying animal, and you go lock yourself in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're alone. 3 seconds, that's when everyone's banging on the door because they want in.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I get carried downstairs. I'm like, this is grade 9. Just absolute, just a puddle. So they put me down on the floor. And I can, when like the rest of your body shuts down, but your hearing is still...
Yeah.
Acute.
Everything's...
You're there, but you don't...
You're lucid,
You can't see anything. And you have no
or
control.
do anything.
So you can hear what's going on. You hear people, what do we do with them? Like, what do we do? So I woke up, it must have been a Saturday morning, and I had this ringing in my ears, like a high hissing sound, and all I could smell was ketchup. I'm like, what's going on here? So you stick a finger in your ear to find out. You do the finger test. It just smelled like lemon and like shaving cream had been deposited into my ear canal, right?
Oh.
Hand down the pants, like a whole bottle of Heinz ketchup was down there. And of course, you just feel like dirt, because you. And I'm like, you're like, well, who did that? Everyone's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what? So I had to walk home and try and sort myself out on the walk home. because you got like ketchup pooping
Ketchup.
pants. And you're just a mess and trying to get by the parents to kind of get to the bathroom to sort your life out. But I learned that day a valuable lesson.
Yeah.
Do
You
not
don't
fall
go
asleep.
so hard that you go down
Yeah.
in the middle of a party because you're fair game. So you got to hang in there.
Yeah, you
Dude.
learn that lesson real quick.
Quick.
It took me once. I passed out, woke up with shaved legs.
Oh,
Like all my leg hair was gone. So yeah,
that's not too bad.
you know, one of my eyebrows was gone too.
That's bad.
Like the patches in my hair were gone.
Yeah.
All the patches that had been shaved had like dicks drawn in them. And like it was my whole face was drawn on, written on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
One time.
That's all it
Damn.
takes.
Never
Yeah.
fell asleep again.
That's all it
Never
takes.
drank too much that I couldn't handle it when I'm around more than one person.
Especially people you don't know.
Yeah.
people
Because
you
they don't
know.
care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
They don't care at all.
Fuckers. Fuckers, man.
I was
Yeah,
pretty
no
much the
shit.
guy though, like at parties growing up, where if somebody dared you to do it before you even finished explaining what the dare was, I was already halfway doing it.
Nice.
You know, it'd be like April. I'll give you $20 if you jump in and I'm off the dock, geared down midair into the lake.
$20 is mine.
You know, why not?
Right. I dare you to walk through the fire for
Well,
$10. Boom.
No,
Ryan.
no. But if I'd known
Like-
there was going to be a coach's challenge, though, I'd probably say
Don't do it
no.
later.
I'd
Well,
look at
it's
the
like,
iPad. And
we
say
made
no.
it like clear at the beginning. You got to walk through it. You can't run or jump. It's a walk, right? It's like not a brisk walk. It's a walk. Anyways, we'll do a fire. No fire dance.
I'm
tonight.
still trying.
No.
I'm still like imagining like how shit that must have been to like wake up with ketchup down your pants, dude, and have to like walk home.
There were parents you had to get by the next morning. That's like
Well, the front door of our house opened up
Oh.
directly into the living room and the hall, so there was no sneaking into my house. So if you can imagine it, you open the front door and you got the hallway leading down the kitchen, and to the right is the living room. Like it's, unless you can make
Hello.
yourself invisible, like you
Yeah.
can't.
Well,
there's
no.
no sneaking in around.
Yeah, that's man. It's like my in-laws' house. Like my wife's one of 3 girls, and the alarm system, like when you open up the door, it goes doo 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 doo. It's right beside Dad's bedroom. it's so clutch.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, positioning. We have
Posi-
to rejuggle the bedroom soon.
But you were saying about where your party spot was. So we you can drive 10 minutes any direction in Peterborough, and you end up in like the wilderness.
Yeah.
Oh,
know,
right. Okay.
Southern
yeah,
Ontario.
yeah.
So
yeah,
you got so and all the kids lived in farm, like out, they had land, like it was the subdivision, but there was
Yeah, it was-
property.
Yeah.
So everything was sort of divided by lines, like 9th line, 10th line, that stuff. So there was one called Viner Line, and so that would run from the start of school in the fall to probably mid-October when it started to get too cold to party outside. And so I remember one fall they had they used to have like a music night. It was called the Strawberry Jam. So it was like high school band showcase or whatever.
Yeah.
So this guy, his name was Pete. We used to call him Gus because he just looked like a big horse. And he kind of like wandered around. He's a great dude, Gus Gilbert.
Yeah, guys.
And so he had a huge tract of land behind his house, which backed out onto Viner Line. So you drive out there in the dark. There's like a million cars parked along the dirt road, So you got your
It's
warm.
not suspicious at all.
Well, there's nobody around. It's just
I know.
so you got your warm 6-pack Labatt Blue again, right? So you're out there, and there's a giant, way too big and dangerous bonfire, and it was super windy that night. It was like a Friday night, and I just remember seeing this guy pour like some gasoline on the fire, and it just went whoosh. And then I saw people running because he lit the field on fire. Like you could just see it
Oh
spread.
no.
And we're like, oh, this is Buddy's house. We're like, oh God.
Oh,
So
no.
kids scattering, and that's a scary thing. You remember that. Everyone's scattering to get
Yeah.
out of there and hopping in their
Yeah.
cars. And so we got in the car and drove to school because the concert was on. And we're like, Gus, dude, we're sorry. Like, your field's on fire. Like, they burnt your field on fire. And he's like, well, where is it? He's like, there. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. That's not our place. That's the neighbors. And, like, he didn't even flinch. He just went back to, like, moshing or whatever he's doing. And we're like, okay. And you feel better. You're like, yeah, it was
okay.
Sweet. Somebody else's problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
Party on, Wayne.
So we went back. It was the same night. So again, you're nursing you're the first of your 6 warm Labatt Blue, right? You know, because you learn to drink. You drink beer warm because you don't know. And there was you could always tell the guys from out of town, like Toronto, because they move differently, right? They talk differently. They're just different. And there was this scary black dude there, and he was getting quite aggressive with everyone. Like, so he started picking on me, and I was standing kind of near the fire, and he was just giving me the business. And I'm like, me and my buddy are like, dude, what's going on with this guy? And he just wouldn't stop. And he got really mad, and I just happened to step closer to the fire, and he saw me. And he was like, oh, dude, you're a brother. Sorry, man. And he was my buddy. And he's like giving me the hug and all this. I'm looking at my friend like, oh, man. Thank God.
Thank God. Yeah.
Thank God. My mixed race saved me. I'm going to play on that team for the night.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Play on that team.
I was going to get tossed into the old embers, but yeah, I was a brother for one night. It saved my life. Good times.
Oh man, just chill out. Just chill. Yeah, man. Okay.
I pretend, you pretend to do some crazy dap handshake that you don't know.
That's
you just
right.
Bomba clap.
Just
My
getting by.
Bridget.
Just
My
getting by.
Bridget.
Yeah.
Well,
We used to
that's
party
cool.
a lot of
That's
cottages and
good
stuff. That was summer though. We'd fire up
Yeah.
to the lake and
No, I didn't.
so
I've only
we would
done a
have you'd
cottage
have a
once.
case of beer. So you go for like a weekend. You need at least 2-4. You need at least a 40.
Yeah,
And then
that's
whatever else you're gonna need.
That's right. Exactly.
Someone's in charge.
Yeah. That's right.
Someone's in charge.
Someone's in charge. We had a buddy who was a cop for OPP.
You ever do Collingwood?
Oh, damn it.
No.
That's awkward.
No, he was great because he would come
I
up
know,
on Friday
but-
night to the lake, and he'd
Yeah.
open the trunk and go help yourself. Because he'd stop all the kids and like
Oh,
confiscate all their stuff.
Confiscate everything. Yeah.
So it was great.
What a dick. That's awesome.
No, having a cop buddy back,
Well, he's a
back
cop
in the
buddy, thank
90s
God
was
for that.
clutch.
Yeah, it was great.
Man, I didn't have any. The cop buddy I had was an asshole. He was an asshole.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a buddy.
I was gonna say, why was he your
well,
buddy
he was
then?
he was like my buddy's brother's friend. You know, the fucking
Yeah.
circles. Like he was his older brother's friend. You know, he was the older brother generation, the crazy crew, man, like fighting every weekend, like it ain't no thing, you know, like there's a big rumble last weekend. My brother and his friends fought those guys and their friends, and it was crazy. Some guy pulled a knife,
man.
like guy, you know, got slashed, and you're like, what the fuck? Really?
With a knife?
Like, yeah, like, you know, like people are getting stabbed and.
They love
Like,
it.
well, that's just the rumor, right? I don't know if anybody actually got stabbed or whatever, but you know, that's the older crowd. You're like, wow, okay, those guys are nuts. Like, you know, so when they come around, you're like always on extra high attention. Here, like, is this guy gonna like all of a sudden just deck us or whatever? Just like rob us of our, you know, our
Murder you?
items? Yeah, like. There's this one guy in our town that was notorious for just being like a real nice dick, you know, like he'd pick you up, like it's a small village, right? So you're man, I used to tell you, listen, small village, right? So you know we have our party spots, right? And so he'd show up in his white fucking Bronco, no
Yeah.
shit, yeah, man, in his white fucking Bronco, and he's like, get in, like, and you're like scared enough, you're like, you don't want to say no. But you don't want to get in. But you don't know. So you're like, what's the... Oh, fuck, we'll get in. You sort of look at each other like, fuck, we don't want to go. All right, let's get in. He's like, okay, let's tour, you know? Like, what the fuck you guys got, you know? Like, bust it out. You're like, oh, fuck, man. Like, no, wait, no. Shut the fuck up, you know? And he's like, bust it out, man. Come on, what the fuck? And he'd get out his flashlight and start, like, donking you in the head. He's like, what's wrong, man? What's wrong? You're like,
Just a dick.
You know, like, okay, fine, you know, and you're like trying to hide like your quantities and stuff. He's all up in your grill. He's like, man, like what? That's all you're gonna bust out? Like what? Anyways, and so he'd tour you around, and sometimes he'd pull out a bottle of whatever and let you have a couple sips, but mostly it was his or whatever. But as long as you share, you know, he's just, oh,
Did this guy have a mustache?
Yeah. Like,
did he?
He wore like the white shirt with the rolled up fucking sleeve. Like he was that classic fucking like tight skin.
Yeah.
You know,
like he was a dirt.
Or tight jeans, tight skin. Sorry.
So he was a skid.
Good guy.
He was a skid, man. Yeah, but he was the. Oh my god.
But what
man.
made him a nice dick?
Well, he'd pick you up in the freezing cold, like you're, you know, partying in the freezing cold. He's like, "Hey, man, get in." You're like, "No, no." He's like, "Yeah, get in. Don't worry, get in." No, get the fuck in. What the fuck, you know? Like, okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in.
I don't
And then
know.
the minute
any
you
nice
get in
dicks,
there,
man.
you'd be a
That's
dick
awesome.
to you.
Man, well,
Just an asshole.
He knew that, you know, we were packing and he wanted what we had, and so
Yeah.
he'd fucking make you get in
He's a
and
scavenger.
give it up, or he's gonna kick your ass, or it was the threat of it. And you're like, so every time we saw the Bronco, we're like darting for, you know, like, man, there he is, move it, hide your shit. He was like, what's his name in the, god damn it, Debo. You know,
Yeah, I was gonna
here
say
comes Debo, like, hide your shit, man. Jesus Christ.
It's my bike.
Friday.
Everyone hides all their jewelry and stuff when he comes around.
Yeah.
But it was like, hide your booze and whatever, you know. Here comes Debo. Fuck. Man, it was the worst. It was the fucking worst guy.
The party crash. The original party crasher.
The nice dick.
Nice dick.
You know, like another time he challenged one of my buddies to a wrestling match, you know. He's like, no, let's just wrestle, you know, like after we're drinking and whatever. And he's like, oh, let's just wrestle, it's fun or whatever. And, you know, my buddy, you know, he's pretty strong, and he threw Debo down, man, and Debo didn't like it. And he got up fucking swinging like he was, all of a sudden it was now for serious, right? And yeah, man, it started, he started busting out, throwing shots, and everybody had to jump in, and it was fucking crazy. We're like, man, Debo, shut the fuck up. What the fuck are you doing? And he's like, well, he tripped me, he fucking threw me down, blah, blah. Like, man, you were wrestling for fun. That's what you fucking said. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. He was just one of those guys, man. Couldn't take losing to the younger crowd. And
Doesn't play nice with others.
I remember we had some crazy boxing matches in my basement when we were...
Did you have hockey helmets and gloves? That's
no,
what we did.
No,
Did you have gloves on at all?
Yeah, we just had boxing gloves.
Did you have like the one, and someone gets the right one? You.
No,
and someone gets the left one?
No. We,
That's a good game. I never
and they're right-handed.
That's right.
no, we would have full-on boxing matches in my basement where you're flying in the washing machines and everything else. Yeah, it was pretty nuts, man. And again, there was a couple nice dicks who'd show up to those too.
What?
This is a totally new concept for me.
In your basement? Like, were you scared to not let them in the house or something?
We would be like, we'd come back from like one of the bush parties or something like that, and we'd be like, yeah, okay, let's fucking box, because we had some boxing gloves down in the basement, and I had like a heavy bag, but we'd like move the heavy bag out of the way and be like, okay, you against you, let's go, and then we just start beating the shit out of each other, and like. There's some bad ones where it's like
some bad dicks.
Yeah, you'd have like we would have some good nights, but I remember like the one night, like kind of got him with a good shot, and it wasn't me. I was on the stairs witnessing, but one of my buddies got my other buddy with a good shot, and he fell into the washing machine. Like he fell into the washing machine, and then yeah, it was just
and then a brawl ensued.
No, not a big brawl.
in.
Just dumb, stupid, like, fights.
Yeah.
Dumb, stupid fights that we have.
Well, yeah. Well, when you're boxing, I guess.
I remember seeing some good ones at parties. Look at this one. It was another field party, and I just got my license. And I had this parents had this 1985 Buick Regal with like velvet interior and a sunroof that didn't work. And it was supposed to be like an 8-cylinder vehicle, but one of those didn't work, so it was only 7. And it looked like it had bullet holes on the side, like rust holes. So the kids used to call it the Gangstermobile. I don't know. It must have been like a racial sort of connecting thing. I don't know.
Right, that's
Whatever.
the gangster.
Some stereotypical whatever. So it's the Gangstermobile. But I was like the first dude in my group of friends that got my license. My birthday's in January.
Popular guy.
So we went out, and again, you learn real fast. Like, you don't go to a field party at like 7:30.
No.
In the summer.
Exactly.
It's still light out. And like, we went out to this place, and like,
you're done by 9.
get a couple of grade 9 girls in the back, and the police showed up. They're like, what are you doing? And then, of course, there's always the really dumb person in your group. Like, oh, we're going to a party. And the cop's like, no, you're not going to a party. Go home. We went back to the party, and again, dumb move. First of all, don't drive to a party. Just drive with someone else.
Right.
And don't pull into the field, like, into the field party.
Oh,
because you think you're getting a good
Yeah.
parking space.
Yeah.
No.
That's right.
Because your car becomes, like, part of the backdrop to, like, Streets
The
of
party.
Rage fighting in the field party. So,
Oh, no.
there was always, like, super heavyweights that I always thought were kind of mythical because, like, you've heard the name, but you've never actually seen this person.
Mm-hmm.
So then it starts going, in the dark, the flicker of the fire and stuff, and you're drinking your... This time it was warm old Milwaukee from the States that
Lovely.
my grandparents had brought back, and we pinched a few cans. Piss warm. I'm driving.
Doesn't. Oh, right. Yeah, of course.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Gonna have a couple. So there's a guy, he was fighting this one guy named One Crack Mac. Now I wonder why they named him that.
He's got a glass jaw.
No.
Yeah.
Obviously the other way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, there's pushing and shoving. Someone gets pushed into the fire. Someone's on fire. And a fight, and when you see a fight, it's cool for like 2 seconds until you realize there's no referees breaking this up.
Yeah, that's right.
There's no, people just get involved. And it got scary, and everyone... I remember moments before, a guy and a girlfriend got into a fight. She grabbed his keys and just fired them up in the air. And I remember seeing the glint of them in the moonlight, and then they just disappeared into the field. And I thought, oh my God, he's going to be pissed. Anyway, big fight. Everyone's trying to get out of there. Taking forever. Can't get out of there. I got home. There's so much crap underneath the car. Weeds and grass and shit and everything else.
I can just picture this. So, like, fight breaks out. You're, like, running for your life. Get to the car, and then you start the car, and then you're like, in a traffic jam.
Yeah, it's like
right.
you're leaving. It's like you're leaving, like, a concert.
Because you got the closed parking spot.
That's right.
So when you get older, you realize, no, at big events, you park far away from the event. You might have to leave a little earlier to beat the traffic. But
That's right.
I remember waking up the next day and going outside and seeing all this crap underneath the car, and I'm fiercely trying to, like, pull it all out, and, because my parents are going to see the Gangstermobile with all this gangsta shit underneath it, and I got to get rid of it. That wasn't the first time I had to clean the car up in the morning before my parents got up.
Damn.
Thanks, Mom and Dad. I parked on the front lawn. That was a good one. In the winter.
Oh.
Pretty hard to get out there in your house coat and slippers trying to, like, smush up the snow, because you know how the snow on your lawn's, like, pristine?
Yeah.
So when you park the vehicle in there, it's like, how do you make it look nice again? Getting some juice out of the fridge, looking out the front window. I'm like, why is the van on the... Oh, my God. Whoops. Oh, I hope my parents never hear this.
They'll find out. They're going to find out about stuff.
Okay, I'll give you the backstory. So, it was a hockey party. And men's league, right? The best league in the world. And I was probably like 3 blocks from home. And we smoked this giant gagger. Like, well over the edge. But he's like, do you want to stay? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm like, not far. The whole story. So hop in the car, and I'm like... There was a car parked on the side of the road, but it was 2 completely clear, detailed cars, like a copy of each other. Like, that's the state. The state of it, right?
It's the state of you.
So that's when I got home. Pulled it in the driveway, turned the car off, unlocked the door, downstairs, probably fired in a couple pizza pockets. Night.
Yeah.
Woke up, parched, get some juice. Oh dear, need to sort that out before the parental unit get up and go. Let's have a chat. And I'm going to call you by your full name. You know exactly what that means. You're in trouble.
Damn, front
That van got me
lawn.
in trouble. I didn't really get into it. I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to hog all this, but it just woke me up a bit. Not that your stories aren't great, but I'm just so anyway. So I didn't get into trouble, mischief with the old Mary Jane until probably 19. I was late, and so my
You're
buddy.
a drinker.
Yeah, but it was a weekend thing.
Yeah.
I was pretty scheduled.
Yeah.
Like
at parties, I found like there was drinkers, smokers, and like your acid heads and mushrooms.
your druggies guys.
Right.
But I was still like, oh, drugs are bad. Okay, drugs are bad.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so I'm like, go to school, do whatever. So anyway, started getting into this in grade probably 12, 13. But he gave me this bag shake. So my parents I just practiced rolling it because it's a life skill, right? So you got to learn how to do it. So I think I had an exam. And so my routine for exams every year is I would roll a big joint and put it on top of one of my speakers in my room. So these tower speakers. And I'd sit there and I'm like, when I'm done my exams, I'm coming back for you. And we're going to have a time. Well, this time I rolled it up and I remember I went to the bank because when you used to go to the bank, this pack of like Players Knee cut smokes. And they were all like stale. So I threw the smokes away and I put the joint in the cigarette pack, put it on the console of the van. Telling yourself, you've done this, don't forget that. Do not forget that. You know that. Went in, whatever. Mom and her friend were going to go up to Pickering or someplace to go shopping. No problem. I'm like, whatever. Probably half an hour later, when you're like, oh no. Oh no. So now you've got like the next few hours to go, how is this going to go down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is this going to go down?
Plan your escape. Plan your escape.
Do I leave now?
Literally when they got home, pushed Mom out of the way to get in the van to see if they'd pushed her over the driveway.
Oh,
Gone.
Ryan. Oh.
Yeah, and then I get the knock on the door. Can we talk to you? I'm like, I wonder what this is about.
I've been waiting.
But I was like 21, like listening to the talk, and you're thinking about everywhere else in the world you'd rather be than getting the grilling from your parents. You're like, oh, really?
Fuck.
But I go to school, man. I got a job.
That's right. That's right.
I'm like, well, it's illegal. Not anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Shit.
What was your first time story?
First time getting caught by the rents?
Or just,
The second
discovering
time? Or the third time?
the third time.
The first time. Well, the first time...
Punchy's like just sifting through the folder.
Yeah, totally. I'm like,
I can see it. It's going through the binder.
yeah. I kind of struck out with a couple stories tonight.
No, you didn't.
I gotta get it here.
You were down at the wall. I'm sure there's some good stories down at the wall.
That's right.
Oh man, the wall was wondrous.
You're already bleeding for jumping off the lock while the boat's coming out of it. So
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah,
that's like 20 points right there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, here's another one. This is like another one of those similar to the lock stories. This isn't me though. This was my roommate in Calgary.
Does his name start with O?
No. No.
And end with O?
No. So he showed me once upon a time. He showed me this VHS tape, right? So on the VHS tape, it's him and 6 of his buddies. It's him and 6 of his buddies, and they're hanging out in the dark. And there's like a light on top of the camera, and you can kind of like, it pans to each guy's face.
Okay, wait.
Like,
am I going to be able to unhear this? Is this one of those stories where like
no, it's not dirty in any way.
Some homoerotic story.
So they're
terrible.
So again, like, so it's like these 6 dudes and they're like sitting in the pitch dark, right? And like the light from the camera is hitting each one of their faces, and they're all like, "Oh my god, man, it's my first time. I'm fucking super nervous." And I'm like,
it's like an action video.
That's my first
they're
time.
like, "I'm super nervous. Like, I don't know how this is gonna go down. Holy fuck!" Then it goes to the next guy. He's like, "Man, I can't believe we're fucking here. This is so fucking crazy." And then goes to the next guy. He's like, "Man, I've done this shit like a fucking million times, man. Like, just fucking chill out. Like, you guys will be fine. Fucking shut up, you little bitches." Then it goes to the next guy. It's like, "Fucking A, let's rock it out, bitches." And then it goes to the next guy. And then it turns back to the cameraman. He's like, "All right, it's almost time." And then it goes, and then the camera pans, and it's just darkness. And then all of a sudden you see one light.
Right.
And it starts to get closer. And then it's so loud that you can't even fucking hear them anymore. They're actually...
What do you mean, the light is loud?
They're inside a train tunnel.
Oh, God.
And they're standing against the wall of a train tunnel. And he's got a camera like this, and he's videotaping them, and they're all holding hands standing against the wall of the train tunnel while the train is just whipping by like that far from their faces.
Dude.
And I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Wow.
Like, even the video is intense to watch. But yeah, it's another one of those things where it's like, holy cow. Like, and that's something you do. The funny thing is that starts off with a story like a bush party. Because you don't find a train tunnel in the city. You find the train tunnel out by the bush party. And that's one of those things that he told me about. He's like, you know, one of these nights we went out and check out this video, man. It was like, holy cow. Because you think, like, one loose chain, anything, man.
Yeah.
That's like 6 heads just sitting in the tunnel.
Oh, my God, man.
Yeah, nuts. Anyways, while you mentioned the locked door thing, I was like, oh, I gotta tell him what the train does.
So we've covered boats and trains.
Boats and trains, yeah.
Okay, there was a car one the other day.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yeah, so there you go.
That's a good movie.
Come on, Somerville. What are you going to share?
What were we talking about?
Crazy stuff, first time stuff.
Oh yeah, first time. Oh, the first time my
stuff.
parents busted me. So the first time my parents busted me, I was selling, and
You were in business.
The press box is like a confessional booth.
yeah. All right. Well, hopefully my family doesn't tune into this.
No.
Yeah, well,
Thankfully, I don't know how to use the internet, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right.
We got that on our side.
Yeah. Damn it, it's too late now, but anyways.
Unfortunately, I don't know how to edit either, so.
Yeah.
This might go in the vault.
Fuck. Yeah. So,
Let's try to
I
make
was
this
selling.
episode still usable, because it's the first one you haven't taken a shift on.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah,
I think I
that's good.
figured it out here. Yeah. But does look really shit every time we get out there, and finally he's not. Anyways, so I'm selling.
Life is a healthy scratch.
Okay,
And-
so you've gone into business.
I've got a healthy stash. I've got a healthy cash flow, and I was an irresponsible. My mom caught on, right, because I stopped asking because I didn't have a job, and this was my excuse for myself to not have a job. You know, friends had jobs and cash incomes. Mine was to cut the grass and clean the house, and I'd get $20-$30 for the weekend. It was enough to get by for a bit, and then I got smart about it and went into business, and then business was good and
I can
Your
just
standard of living increased.
yeah.
You stopped cutting the lawn and started wearing pimp clothes.
Well, I had to cut the lawn, to keep up appearances and stuff. But, I stopped asking for money, right, which was the stupid thing. And my mom sort of wondered, and so she went into my room and found my stash. It was primo stuff. It reeked anyways. But so I got home and I went to grab it and go out, and I couldn't find it or whatever. And then I'm like, my mom saw me looking around the house and stuff, and she said, "You looking for this?"
Yep.
And I was like,
"Yep."
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So, yeah. Well, I found your stash. Like, all right. And I can't remember. I can't remember what the punishment was, to be honest. But what I do remember was a week later going back to my mom, going, "Look, I need the stash back because the guy I got it from, wants it back, or I'm gonna get the beating." And she's like, "I knew this would happen," or something. "I knew this is why I didn't flush it or dispose of it." And she's like, "Will you fucking give it back to whoever and stay the fuck out of it?" It's like, "Yep, no problem." Boom, back on the street. I'm back in business. I got my stash back. And
what is that? It's not a good bag.
That was the first time I got busted by my parents. Yeah.
See, man, when I got busted, it wasn't like I didn't get busted with stuff, or I got busted with paraphernalia.
That's even worse.
Intense.
That's what it was.
Not worth anything.
Yeah, a buddy from school. He had grabbed a couple different science beakers with the rubber stoppers.
Yes, with the
drilled
rubber
a hole,
stopper.
And he made this 3-chamber one. One had ice, one had water, and then
Science.
Yeah, one had ice in it, one had water.
Science.
And so I had a shoebox. I had a shoebox like under my bed or up in like the false ceiling or something. I don't know. And the shoebox had the 3 beakers in it, and I'd have to assemble it every time I went for like
It was a mechanism.
Assemble.
Yeah, it was a mechanism. I was like, "What the hell is this?" I was like, "Oh, it's your Christmas gift." It's like
A chemistry set.
Yeah.
Christmas,
Science
Mom.
is cool.
Yeah.
It's 3 vases, Mom.
That's
3
such a Ricky
vases.
move.
I was gonna paint them next week.
3 vases
You put flowers in them.
that have centimeters on it. Down the one side.
That's right.
But yeah,
Have milliliters. Sorry, I'm stupid.
I remember busting my mom though for Santa Claus. I remember that though.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh,
Hey?
yeah? How old were you?
I was probably 8 or 9, and it was
That's not too bad.
And like she fucked up. She accidentally left Santa's grocery list, i.e., the receipt from
Wish
Canadian
list.
Tire.
Right.
Must have fallen out of the bag or something.
Right.
Because it was in the back seat of the car.
Oh.
And I found it in between the seats. I was like, "God, this." I was like, "Mom,
Did you
what's
kind of
going
know,
on?"
though?
No, I was dumb as shit.
No, that's...
I
No,
was the
you know
same
what,
as
dude?
I
That's
am
cool
now.
that
I'm a
you didn't.
dumbass.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, no, I was a
too.
dumbass, and yeah, whatever. Like, and I had a little sister that was a couple years younger though, so she was fully sold in too.
And you had to keep the torch alive for that,
But
too.
in retrospect, now looking back, I'm pretty sure that my sister knew and was just like, "My brother's a dumbass. I'm not gonna fuck it up for him." Like, like,
See, I think the sadness of today's youth is as soon as a kid learns how to spell and can type something in a search engine, like all a kid needs to do is type in Santa, and it's over.
That's right.
And it's over.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
6,
yeah.
7, 8 years old, it's done, and that sucks.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So-
we still got like my
I'm cool. Both
my 10-year-old still. She's almost now.
Oh, yeah.
Still got her?
Believe
Yeah.
it,
Because she's
but
fighting against the
she's-
current at school with her friends and stuff, right?
Yes, that's right. And her older brother and sister.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to.
10's good. That's cool.
I'm kind of curious as to, like, I think though having our kids here probably insulates them a little bit more, right?
yeah.
Because like,
Well,
Don't you think
they
it's
got
no,
their
but
own
Santa's not as huge as it is back home.
Well, I was gonna say like it's not even. It's
And
not.
It doesn't even feel
Boys,
like
it's
Christmas.
not Christmas here. It's summertime
Yeah.
with some lights and stuff. You know, it's like, and then it comes
It's
and it's
barbecues
gone.
and cold cuts.
You
Yeah.
know? Like there's no build up. Like I remember in school, December 1st, the classroom would be like done up in Christmas
Decked.
decorations.
Yeah.
And you'd be making
the
like
hallways.
cut out snowflakes, and there's
The entire
Charlie
neighborhood.
Brown's on
Sorry.
every night on TV, and
And the entire
Yeah.
neighborhood's lit up.
you know. And here
Yeah.
they're just trying to get
Yeah.
to the end of the school year. And then there's a bunch of commercials from like Pack and Save saying to come get a turkey, and then it's over. and that's Christmas.
That's right.
This
Like,
thing.
and it
Slip, slop.
sucks.
Bit of slip slop.
Slip, slop, and slap, or
Yeah.
whatever the saying is.
And like
yeah,
this
yeah.
Jingle Bells is about wearing jandals and sunscreen and
That's
getting
right.
burnt and eating
That's-
fish and
that's
chips on the
right.
beach, and it's just like
Yeah,
You're-
it's weird.
30 degrees out. You're in the mall and you hear White Christmas over the sounds.
That's
You're like,
right.
what?
Yeah, I know.
Like there's
Yeah.
no driving
But what
around
are you
for
gonna
hours
do?
trying to find a parking space, and it's slushy and gross, and people are pissed
Yeah,
off. And,
God, that's right.
you know,
Well, you're still driving around for an hour and a half, man. Damn, Christmas shopping is nuts.
at least
It's
the windows
nuts
are down
here.
in the summer. You know,
It is,
Not
yeah,
so bad.
exactly, exactly,
Christmas.
exactly. Well, to be honest, I'm sort of enjoying Christmas in the summertime now. It's
Yeah,
It's kinda
I
nice.
like it too. Yeah.
But wouldn't it be cool if it
Yeah.
was in July or August? Because then it would
What,
break the year
Christmas?
up, you know. Because that's the thing about I always remember it is Christmas when you're in school kind of breaks the year up. Because it's like you got Thanksgiving and
Oh,
Christmas
right,
is like the
yeah.
next big
that's
thing
right.
to look forward
Yeah.
to after, like
Well,
you
it's
know.
like 2.5 weeks off of school.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think I'm with you there, Summer. I'm getting used to
yeah,
the warm Christmas.
I enjoy going camping and playing cricket on the beach and having a barbecue. I mean, don't get me wrong, I miss a white Christmas. I took the family home for Christmas once, and I was so fucking lucky. It was a white Christmas.
Yeah.
There was a lot of snow. We got dumped on. Like they all were like, "Oh, it was magical," Like, "Oh my God, look at all the snow! I've never seen like anything like this ever."
Yeah, yeah.
My parents got to witness it. It was special, So.
but the weather
Yeah,
makes it easier.
that part of it's cool, but I'd much rather go to like chill in shorts on a beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
See, for a long time, for the first few years it was here, we'd go home for Christmas. So you go
Yeah.
home for like 3 or 4 weeks, so you get that perfect like chunk of the best part of winter. Like you
Yeah.
get the Christmas season, and then you're back on a bird and you're in summer.
See, I think what I miss the most about
It's great. You don't have to. I didn't have to go back to work for another 3 weeks. So it's like the
Yeah.
3 weeks summer
Yeah.
holidays after you
Yeah.
just had
Yeah.
Christmas
a
holidays.
holiday.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Eh?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
the thing I
seriously.
miss the most about back home, like obviously, like the snow's cool, but like just family, right? But
Oh,
it's always
yeah.
it's always
Yeah,
so
buddies.
it's always so hectic around the holidays.
Mm.
But it's kind of like when I was there and I had to do it every year. It's like, oh, I gotta go
Yeah.
and see
Mm.
everybody. But now that I'm here, I'm like, oh, I wish I could go back.
Yeah.
You know
yeah,
what I
same
mean? Like,
here. Yeah.
Every well, I guess every Christmas day here, I talk to the fam back home because they all get together Christmas Eve at my one aunt's house. So I
Yeah.
make the call at like 11 o'clock Christmas Day, and I get a chance to talk to all of them and tell them whether or not Santa's going to be a dick this year because he comes here first.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the one
Visits here
time,
first.
the last time my parents were here. I think it was the first time they were ever here for Christmas. They'd either come after, and so it was Christmas Day, and they're so used to being. Well, my family at home is you stay home for Christmas.
Yeah.
Like people would
Yeah,
come to
damn
our
right.
house
Yeah,
and you kind of
yeah.
hang out and
Yeah.
But they're like, I'm like, well, let's go to the beach. Let's go down to Mission Bay, and they're kind of like weird. I'm like, but that's what you do. When we got down there, they're like,
That's
wow,
it.
it's so busy. I'm like, because it's summer.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And
Yeah,
it's
that's
nice out,
right.
and it's what you do. You know,
This is what we do. Yeah,
you're not
exactly.
sitting around.
Because it's Christmas,
You know.
man. Let's go to the beach.
Yeah, exactly. And you get like stuff, and you can use it. Like I get a bike for Christmas, which is cool for like 2 seconds because you can't use it. Like you
That's
got to
right.
wait like 4 months to
And
get your bike.
inside, yeah.
It's so true.
Your
Like a
basketball.
remote control car that's like built for the dirt and stuff. Like,
I
no, can't
cannot
go in
wait
the water
to
in
ride
the
you
snow.
in
Yeah.
6 months.
Fuck. You know, you waste the 4D volt batteries, like smash it against your table, kitchen.
And then the aerial on the controller gets bent, and then it's broken.
Thanks, Santa. Thanks, Santa, for the new rollerblades. In the
Yeah, but
middle
here you
of
get like a
winter.
bodyboard or like a new pair of shorts or a tank top, and you're like, just fire it on. You're like, instant awesome.
Yeah, instant awesome. Instant awesome.
Like a beach towel is like awesome to get for Christmas
Yeah.
because you're going there in 5 minutes.
And you're using it right away. Oh, man. Christmas time, holidays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Aaron. Hey, Aaron. How are you, Aaron? Yeah.
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 Well, you go
I
into
know what
different
you mean.
phases, you know? Like, you go back to when you found out, and I kind of thought, oh, man, Christmas sucks now. Like, that, the magic was... But then you realize there's just another... It changes state. And you go into that, and you're like, well, okay, I understand this is good. You know, and your duty is to make sure the magic is still going for the younger kids, while you have your own magic with a bottle of whiskey, and you can stay up later and...
You know what, though? At some point, you're like, holy shit, I'm Santa. This is actually fun now.
Yeah. You can't get too sauce because you got to be Santa. Like, and
Yeah.
realizing that the kids are like,
you can't get all
sleep because
licked
there's
up
a
on
stranger.
Christmas Eve and pass out on the couch.
Yeah. And they're worried that strangers coming into the house, and that's freaking them out. And I'm like, don't worry, he's going to leave stuff. Most strangers come into your house and take stuff. So it's actually, there's nothing to worry about. Yeah, stuff that you want.
So, the kids are smarter than you. Like, my daughter's like, Dad, we don't have a chimney.
Yeah, I was going to say, how does that work?
It's
He
okay.
climbs through the window. I'm like, yeah, shrinks himself. Did you guys ever write letters to Santa? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
No, and it would come back, you get a letter back.
Yeah.
Yeah, HOH, OHO.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh my God. And then the news is tracking him and he's flying and it's like, oh my God. Holy
Yeah, man.
shit. Yes.
Yeah, I know. And he, like, personally talks to you.
They send you a
Yeah.
text with a letter. We never had anything like that.
Yeah, Santa's clutch.
Did he smell of liquor? Oh no. Oh no, I hate. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? There was a few years ago in some town around here where they complained because they wanted to have a Maori Santa Claus. I'm sorry. That does not work. No, it doesn't, because that is the holiday. You can't just change the holiday because you don't like who he is.
The white Santa. Yeah.
Like, you don't have that holiday. It's not part of your culture. You can't just show up at my house and go, right, this is how he's going to wear feathers and,
that's right.
Speedo. He's going to be drinking coconut juice. You can't do
I'm
that.
just like, what?
It's one extreme.
It's Christmas.
What does Maori Santa look like?
Well, he's just...
He's wearing a feather
black.
cape.
What's the difference? Like,
No shoes.
Well, that's... Yeah. Yeah. Like, does he have a
got
black
moco.
beard? Yeah. Oh, right.
But that's not...
He's Maui, basically.
Yeah, but that
right?
doesn't work.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do it, then don't do it.
He's got the big fish hook, right?
you're welcome.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
exactly. So you're saying it's Dwayne Johnson?
It's right.
That's who he is.
Instead of ho ho ho, does he say brew brew brew?
No, he says, if you smell what the
What
Santa's
Saint
cooking,
Nick
eh?
is cooking.
Yeah, no, let's just stop this. I mean, so one of the
Poor Dwayne.
One of the things I liked about living in
Write me a letter.
one thing I liked about living in Singapore is there would be like a national holiday like every month, like because they celebrated like all the Chinese holidays, all the Indian
Malaysian,
holidays,
Indian,
all the Filipino ones, like everything.
Indonesian,
So that was cool because it's like we're all included.
There's so many holidays, man. They make them up all the time.
Did you get a
Like Christmas.
Canada Day? Was there a Canada holiday?
Well, yeah, I mean the Canadians
that was Christmas,
kind of
I guess.
fired up,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah.
You're
national, you would get Christmas off then.
Oh
Like
yeah,
Singapore
we
is
get
a
all the
Christian-
Christian
yeah,
ones and
yeah.
everything on the Singapore Day and
Like, dude,
Yeah.
just for example, okay,
Singapore.
today is we're recording this show on May 26th. Okay, I just typed in on my computer. I said May 26th is National what day, and it came up with May 26th is National Sorry Day, National Redhead Day, National Day Urban Dictionary Day, National Day of Prayer, National Science Day. Like, that's what I mean. There's too many holidays.
They're not holidays.
But they're not holidays.
National
They're
days,
like
yeah.
recognized national days.
Days,
Every single
yeah.
day of the year has 15 of them. It's
we
insane.
can make one up.
Yeah, like there's International Pirate Day on September 22nd, I believe it is, or 19th. It's
Really?
fucking awesome, man. International Talk Like a Pirate Day. It's
Yeah, I
wicked.
heard that.
It's the best day of the year.
Arr.
Is there,
Matey.
is there an
I go to
international
meetings.
May 26th day?
What's that?
Is there an international May 26th day?
It is today.
There you go.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think we need more holidays.
Yeah, it was
I
May
think-
2-4 weekend in Canada.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
That was the best
The
weekend.
opening of
I remember
summer.
camping. I remember camping May 2-4
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, May 2-4 every year, yeah. Wasaga
Yeah.
Beach was my spot. Wasaga
I've
Beach.
heard about some times being had up there.
Wasaga?
Wasaga.
I never got up there, but
I never
I
got
heard
up there
some
either.
stories.
Yeah.
That's Collingwood area.
Kim Mitchell
by
played up there.
Collingwood.
That's all I know.
Yeah, that's where like people would bury their beer and go back for like Rock Fest, I think it is,
Yeah.
or something like that. And
Yeah.
I just loved
few-
how it was
people's
associated
cars
with
got
24
burned and-
beers.
Um,
May 2-4. That's what I thought. I had no idea how
Yeah.
to do
well, that's
Queen
what I
or
thought.
anything.
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
You ever been to Collingwood?
yeah,
our version of Crate Day. No.
yeah.
No.
I guess, eh?
They got a thing called the Great Slide Ride out there. It's very similar to the luge here.
Okay.
Slide ride.
The
Luge.
Great Slide Ride. It's called.
Collingwood.
No, I
There's
don't
skiing
know
and
that
stuff
one.
up there, isn't there? In the winter?
Oh.
Collingwood, yeah. No,
Yeah.
there's lots of beaches. It's kind of like
Wasaga, right? Is that on? What is that?
Wasaga's right beside Collingwood. It's
My geography's terrible now. I've left.
Huron.
Yeah.
Huron.
Didn't make it down. We went to Quebec mostly.
Did you?
Yeah.
Or Northern Ontario. Was a year younger to drink in Quebec, so at 18 we came back and
I'm on holiday.
I did a couple of ski trips
Blue Mountain
in grade 12 and 13. It was through this company called Breakaway Tours.
Saint Marie.
And it was Mount Saint Anne and.
Did you have a ski club in high school?
Mont Saton.
Yeah.
Did you guys have like ski club?
No.
Tremblant.
Did it have like
Mont Habitant?
Did it have a trip once a month? Something like that?
Yeah, 10.
No. Oh, in school? Maybe actually. Yeah. Yeah.
But we just go up there and you're 18, right? You just go into the convenience store and just buy like cases of the big cans, the Bapley, and just get to work. And then go out to the bars and do more work.
Damn, I was not that guy. Yeah, no, I was like, if I was getting to work that early, I was going to sleep pretty early too. Yeah,
I remember.
Yeah, I was 100% in language.
Because I learned, like you said, I learned,
yeah.
and I learned hard, and I never again. I know my limit.
Yeah. You'd sit and just drink Well, you start drinking in the middle after 4 o'clock. You work your way up. The skiers would come home, and I remember the one day. This was probably one of the coolest things I did there. Was this was the last time when I was there. It was the last year the Nordiques were in Quebec.
Ooh.
And they were playing Pittsburgh, and I went down and got 14 tickets. I'm like, we're going to the Colisée. Right.
You went up to Quebec City. That's a long drive.
Yeah, for this trip. No, it was you get on a bus. It was like a bus tour with a bunch of high school kids.
Right.
And you just drink on the bus, and you get there and have a time. And
those were legend. I could never win on one of those.
They were awesome.
Man. Yeah, those were legendary.
Those were the ski trips.
Yeah.
And so we went to the game, and so who was playing? They were retiring Michel Goulet's jersey that night. Remember that?
Nice.
Wendell Clark was playing for Quebec. Lemieux was hurt, but Yager was playing, and he was retarded. Like the sickest hands. He'd stand still and just deke through everybody.
Yeah,
and
he
it was nuts.
Awesome in that era. Right after was it when Lemieux got leukemia?
Yeah.
Was it when he first got cancer and he was out for a little bit? And Yager had just burst onto the scene. They won back-to-back cups, and then
early
he was
90s,
gone for a couple years. And Yager was he was on another level.
Yeah, he took over. But this was this was their last year, and then they moved to Colorado and won. So the team was awesome. Like it was Sakic.
Yeah. Sakic.
They were stacked and ready to rock.
Dude, and they were even more stacked like the year before that. Remember they had that stint where they had like 4 number 1 picks?
Yeah, Nolan, Sakic, Sundin.
And was it Forsberg?
No, he was in Philly because he was in the Lindros trade.
Oh yeah, that's correct.
But they were still good. They had like Mike Ricci and
there was another one though.
I'm trying to remember who the goalies were. It was like Stéphane Fissé or somebody, or
Jocelyn
Thibault. Yeah, they were good, but that Colisée was awesome because it was like an old stadium. Like it was no frills. Like it was real steep, and the sightlines were amazing. But you had that railing, and it's like if that railing wasn't there, like you're gonna go for a tumble.
You're going over.
And people were like Christ de Tabernac, and it was like full on. It was cool.
SD
Moody.
It was wicked, So that was cool to see that.
That would have been
and
cool.
to see Wendell being a Leaf fan was like weird, but
yeah.
And then they moved and won, broke the hearts of everyone in Quebec.
Yeah. Don't come back.
What a party that would have been had they won it.
Yeah.
In Quebec too.
But yeah, I love Quebec. I think it's a fun. Quebec City's amazing. It's beautiful. And it's a great city to party in too.
Never went that far to party. Montreal was always the stop. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Or far enough.
They have some excellent establishments there for adults and.
Yeah.
And good times.
Anyways,
Well, I think we're starting to trail off, boys, and this party's starting to wind down a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think it's right about time where we pick up a guitar and we bid the fans adieu.
Ever since Christmas, I was starting to get a little sleepy. So.
We're having a lot of fun here in the press box. We're having a lot of fun in the press box. We'll have to get the input of the viewers and let us know what they think of the press box. Or
I don't care.
If we gotta head back to the bench.
Just shut up and listen. People.
Don't tell our parents.
That's right.
Please don't. Hey, you know what? Didn't dime anybody out for any crimes tonight, so that's a plus.
No.
Nobody in suits showed up at the house, so that's good.
And for this episode, Summer pleads the fifth. So that wraps up number 14. I'm cutting off Langer. Sorry, the fourth
that's
line
all right. No,
saying goodbye.
All right, riding the pine, partying outside at Viner line in the wall and the quarry. We're just sitting
jumping
there
off
telling
rocks.
some stories about old times.
And jumping off rocks and risking your life.
Risking your life. I got nothing for that, but it's punchy. It's summertime. We've lived to tell another tale, so there should be more.
Ow.